Welcome back to Mini-Modelog. This week's something a little bit different. Now, I've been playing with this for a little while now, and I downloaded it the day it came out, and it's the Citadel Paint app. For those of you who don't know, or well, you probably do if you're a Games Workshop person, they've released an app to help with painting. So it's called the Citadel Paint app. It's free, which is well done, Games Workshop. Free stuff. We love free stuff. So I downloaded it. It's got 5 main sections on the screen. I don't use the get started bit because I've been doing things the GW way, as they like to call it, for quite some time. So I know about dry brushing, texture paint, all those types of things. I'm still learning. I'm not the greatest painter in the world, and sometimes I still refer to it. So for those new people out there who are new to the hobby, the get started is a brilliant place to go. I'll just click on it now, and it gives you all the techniques, brushes you can get. So for example, if you wanted to learn to dry brush, click on dry brush, tells you how to do it. There's a little video to watch, and the recommended brush for doing it. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure what brush to buy to do this or that, it's all there. So I mean, I'm going to do a bit more dry brushing. I'm going to try out some new dry brushing techniques with dry paints. Look out for that in the near future. And basically this has helped me decide, oh well, I'm going to try dry brushing a lot more. So anyway, back to the main page, which is what you click on first. It also has a section called Paint by Colour. Now you click on Paint by Colour, and it gives you all the colours in the range, or all colours you can think of. So red, pink, orange, and then you get further down, it gets a little bit more technical with some white, some gold, some bone, and some flesh. So obviously flesh is a big thing in painting models. It's in almost every model going. So if you click on flesh as an example, it gives you all the different types of flesh. The way the Games Workshop paint it, but it is all different fleshes. I'll give you some examples. Pale flesh, dark flesh, rotting flesh, putrid flesh, alabaster flesh. I can't even get the words out. So inflamed flesh. So it gives you a fair few different options. I mean, me personally, I do mine in pale flesh a lot of the time. So it gives you the paints you require, and it does it in a layer form, or it does it in a dry brush form. And obviously it's slightly different when you're dry brushing compared to when you're layering. So for example, it says base cut rakat flesh, dry brush elder flesh, shade of Reichland flesh. So it is slightly different, and they yield slightly different results. So it's up to you which one you do, and that gives you the option. So, but it's similar to the chart they used to have, but it's in an app basically. So, but on top of that, one thing you can do is you can click the camera. Now, obviously, all smartphones now come with cameras, pretty much. But you can literally take a picture of, or tap on a colour, it says. So, I'll focus it on the table, let it get in focus, and I'll tap on a colour. Still not focusing. There we go. And it says Find Matches in the bottom right-hand corner. So you click on Find Matches, and it gives you the 3 different types of ways of painting what it can see. So rotting flesh, alabaster flesh, and bone white. I mean, I'm getting that mainly because your lighting makes a difference. Obviously I've got quite a bright light for the filming, so it does yield different results depending on what your light is like, so be aware of that. But I think it's a great little app, allows you to experiment with colours. But I think 2 of the greatest features in this is both the paint by miniature feature and the paint base feature. Now, you go to Paint by Miniature, and there's pretty much a version of most things. Of course, you can use most of the techniques or colour codings for a series of people. Let's take an example. So if we go down to a Blood Angels Intercessor. So you go to Blood Angels Intercessor, it gives you an image of the model and it zones in on different bits of the model. So for now, let's look at Blood Angel's armor, just for the argument's sake, and it tells you how to do it in layer form, and then it also tells you how to do it in dry brush form. And obviously you get the image of the Space Marine backpack there to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Of course, most Blood Angels, regardless if it's a Intercessor or a standard rank and file or some sort of HQ choice, the main armor is going to be of this form. So it allows you to learn how to do a Blood Angel, basically, or any Blood Angel. But there's loads of different tips and tricks you can pick up because it gives you a raft of different models. So we just looked at a Blood Angel. If you wanted to for example, do something in turquoise, no matter what it was, there's a Saurus Warrior and it tells you how to do teal. So it tells you how to get that effect. So there's plenty of different things you can pick from. But I think that's great, because if you were painting something in particular and it's on the list, bonus. I mean, for me, what's on the list is Calibite Warriors. So when I do eventually paint my Calibite Warriors, I will probably use this and try and emulate as much of these parts as I can. So that's painting by miniature. And then you've got, finally, paint bases. So you can actually, I don't know if you can see that there on screen, but basically you've got choose terrain. So you've got everything from wet mud through to Blood God's Realm, Urban Winter, Urban Overgrown, Arid Dirt, Toxic Swamp, all different styles. So let's, for this one, pick Urban Overgrown. So it tells you how to do it. So what texture paint to use, what shade to use, and what the overall end result will be. There's many different ones, and it allows you to improve your basing techniques, basically, and makes your basing look better. The final thing on here is inventory and wish list. Now, you can put in, I haven't yet, but you can put in all your paints and put a wish star next to ones you've got. Now, the only thing that app doesn't do, which I think they're missing a trick here, is once you've put a wish list together, it doesn't throw it to your account on Games Workshop as far as I know. But also you can't order paints through the app. Now, I think it would be better in the next update, if they do an update of it, is to actually have an order system, so you can then go to another page or another tab, allowing you to order straight from Games Workshop, put your details in, and they get delivered as you would be from ordering the site. But it allows you to track what paints you have, and allows you to know, oh, I've got this paint. Another thing it doesn't unfortunately do is it doesn't tell you how many pots. So, you know, say, for example, I know I've got a couple of pots of Agrax Earthshade, so it doesn't tell me how many I've got. So that can be a little bit hit and miss. But I think it's a great app for new starters in the hobby, but also people who've been doing this for donkeys. I mean, I've been painting the GW way for a long, long time. And as you've seen from Painting Progress, which comes up there, you'll see that I use all the Citadel paints, and I layer, and I do all that kind of thing. I'm going to get the dry paints and do some dry brushing techniques soon, so look out for Painting Progress on that. And I'm going to try that on the Gangs of Kimura stuff. So do look out for all that, and hopefully now some things are popping up, so you should get most recent video. I'll do Painting Progress playlist down here, and then obviously up there is my subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to comment on this video, whack a comment down below, and I'll see you next time on Mini-Modelog.